Yes, ladies and gentlemen, after a long time, the Q&A for Dark Deception was here, which means we are here for a Q&A recap. In this video, we're gonna go for Holiday Horror and Prison Panic, both levels and everything we've learned so far. So starting off with Veils, so if you haven't seen, this has been floating around on the internet, both the Dark Star and the Puppet King plushies have been revealed. And by the way, I am recording this from a different mic because my actual mic is mumbo jumbo, so apologies for the audio quality. But yeah, I'm actually excited for this. It has been a while since I've bought a Dark Deception plushie. It has been a while, but I might get Dark Star plushie. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So the first thing I'm gonna start off is the biggest one. What happened to the Holiday Horror demo that we were meant to see and play at Tokyo Game Show? At first it was delayed. It was then revealed that, hey, we're gonna get to see the gameplay on YouTube. Then all of a sudden it just vanished. So what happened? The first things first, it has been cancelled altogether. There will be no more demo for us to play. There will be no demo for us to watch. There will be no demo or any sort of that thing related to Holiday Horror. According to Vince, it wasn't up to standards. The standards weren't good, the demo itself wasn't very good, it wasn't an accurate depiction or showcase of the chapter and the level itself, Holiday Horror, which is why the whole thing has been canned. We will not get to play or see that demo, but we will get to play Chapter 5. Holiday Horror when it drops in Chapter 5. More to that in just a second. It was revealed that there will be 3 zones in each level of Chapter 5. So we know there are 5 levels in Chapter 5, and so each level will have 3 zones. This thing started recently with Chapter 4, Mascot Mayhem specifically, because Torment Therapy only had 2. Then in Mascot Mayhem we had 3, Barely Bear we had 3, and now we have all 3 zones in Chapter 5, and he's revealed that these zones are huge, humongous. They are big, like more content than all previous chapters combined type of content, which is exciting for us because we've been waiting for this chapter for far too long. It just makes sense for there to be a lot more content. Speaking of the zones, it was also revealed that yes, there will be multiple floors. This is an information that we've been knew for years, even before Chapter 4, because it was gonna be in the mall. So it would just make sense for there to be multiple floors in the mall. Now we don't know if the escalators are working or we can just walk up through the escalator whilst they're working or not. Doesn't matter. And also, this is a weird information he gave us, that yes, whilst the zones are big, huge, there's one zone in particular, Zone 2, which is the smallest one of the 2. I do not know why this information was shared. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, that yes, there are multiple mannequins type. This is something that we've been new. We talked about like 10,000 times. We've seen like the crawly ones, the fast ones, the red ones, the white ones. So yeah, there's a lot of them, a bunch of them. At this point, I just want to see how each of them like work. We don't know, we'll see. Speaking of types, recently we've been getting a lot of OSTs for Chapter 5, and in the last video, or the video before that, I reported here that all the Holiday Horror soundtracks have been like posted. All of them, the ones that he can post. Like there are others, but those would contain spoilers, right? So we got some clarifications on some of those OSTs. For example, the Puppet King OST, which I theorized to be the boss theme, or at least the introduction to the Puppet King himself theme, is revealed to be a cutscene track. So there will be a cutscene happening whilst the Puppet King is being played. It might be a transformation cutscene, it might be the introduction cutscene, we don't know. It's definitely not the boss fight theme, so there you go. It was also revealed that the King Slayer, it is very fitting and very ironic. Listen to this. King Slayer theme is the escape thing, which makes sense because Puppet King is the king and we've just slayed him and we are escaping after slaying his abscise. Not Yas, slay, Doug. It is the other Slayer, a literal Slayer. Now there's one more thing that was revealed that was very interesting. So I was for sure convinced, right, that this is a mask. We will not see his mouth move when he speaks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was revealed that his mouth will move, whether it be the freaking cutscenes or him chasing us in the gameplay and all that other good stuff. We like to hear that. And the final 2 things, which is something that I have planned for a separate playlist for each of these monsters, is the role of Puppet King himself. So like Dark Star, which we're gonna come to in just a second, Puppet King himself, is a very royal-ish. He prides himself of being, having this kingdom that he can rule over and whatnot. He literally prides himself of being a king, and that will be showcased throughout the environments of the holiday horror with his posters, with him, literally like hyping himself up as the king. So whilst you're roaming around, he will make sure to let you know that he is the king around here, and y'all better be careful. One of my worries in chapter 5 is that there are many characters, like so many characters, and my worry is that there will be rushed to the point where they might become forgettable. Like whilst barely buried in trigger teddies and even nurses to some extent, they are really like memorable characters. The fact that they are memorable was because of the fact that we've been viewing their teasers for over 2 years, right? Their teasers, they've been in teasers. We've learned about them for over 2 years, right? But Joy Joy Gang got the most marketing, which is why they're the most memorable. So whilst Vince did say that we will learn a lot about Puppet King and like he will get a good time on the screen, I still think some of these characters will be rushed, and I guess other than Mannequins, Darkstar might be popular, and maybe your usual Malak, Beers, and Doug Hauser. Speaking of Darkstar, ladies and gentlemen, it was also revealed that both Darkstar and other characters will have interactions. They will have full-blown interactions, they will have full-blown conversations. This is like one big thing will be evident throughout chapter 5, that these characters will have full-blown conversations, not just with us as Doug Hauser, but with each other as well. This is one thing that I've, been wanting to see from all these characters. Like, can you imagine? Like, it was already great, evident by the fact that Agatha was talking to Beers, right? Or Nurses was talking to Beers. And all that. Would it be great if Nurses talked to Lucky? Lucky had a rebuttal against Agatha's foolery and mockery. Wouldn't that be great? And finally, speaking of Prison Panic, ladies and gentlemen, just like Crazy Carnival, somebody asked, will there be another level or zone which is like hanging up in the air? Like if you go to Crazy Carnival level, which is fantastic, you have the first zone, literally like in the air and whatnot. So yeah, it was revealed that yes, there will be one in Prison Panic level, and we should have seen it coming because literally one of the OSTs is titled Don't Look Down. Other than that, there will be more in the next video as well. The main point of the Q&A was that Vince wants to show so much but can't because there's like so much spoilers. He did say, and this is where I'm gonna end the video, that a lot of the marketing of chapter 5, a lot of like trailers and teasers, like they will happen, of course. There will be voice reveals, there will be teasers, there will be trailers, but they will be mostly sticking around the Puppet King Holiday Horror level and Darkstar level. Like there will be some glimpses from the other levels as well, but mostly we're gonna see between the Darkstar Prison Panic level and Puppet King Holiday Horror level. So make that of what you will. I'm chilling a little bit in my editing, which is why there's not much editing. In the next video, we're going to talk about more good stuff, release dates and whatnot. And in the video after that, we're going to be Monsters and Worlds, and that will be the end of the Q&A recap. So make sure you, ladies and gentlemen, are Susu. 100k this year. Let's go, boys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and PPP.